Welcome, everyone, to Oh Great, It's Jeff. I'm Jeff. This is the show where we go over the hottest stories of the week in TV and film. Really hot stories, just hot stories, hot news. In addition to that, on this week's show, I'm gonna tell you about that one time that I spit in Millie Bobby Brown's face and she called me a tool. And our number one story of the week is about Robert Pattinson's Batman, so stay tuned. So welcome to the first episode of the show. We'll be running down some of CinemaBlend's biggest headlines, and I'll be giving you some hot takes. Really, it's just an excuse for me to shoot my mouth off about TV and film. You're gonna hate it. So on that note, let's take a look at our number 5 story of the week. Chris Hemsworth fought for that Avengers Endgame transformation to be permanent. I thought it was very important to start the show with a shirtless Chris Hemsworth. Anytime I'm worried that I'm losing your attention, I'm just gonna throw shirtless Thor up here. I still think it's all CGI.
Is that even possible?
Half of Marvel's post-production budget goes towards the men's abs. So there's slight spoilers ahead for Avengers Endgame. Like slight spoilers, like kind of spoilers. Specifically in regard to Chris Hemsworth's physique. Okay, I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off. The dude gets tubby in the movie. He starts drinking heavily and living like a frat boy. It's pretty hilarious. Anyway, it turns out that in the original script, Thor was supposed to return to his regular old buff self by the end of the film. And it was Hemsworth that wanted to stay that way during the final battle with Thanos. So he fought to keep chubby Thor through the end of the film, which I love, because this guy is always experimenting with the humorous potential of that character. It's great. And watching Fat Thor fight specifically at the end was like a real treat. It's like an SNL bit. I guess the only question now is whether or not he will keep that physique through his next appearance in the MCU. My guess is no. That core sells tickets. On that note, our number 4 story of the week is Aladdin hit a box office milestone after dethroning an X-Men movie. Okay. Aladdin has officially cracked the top 5 Memorial Day weekend box office openings of all time. Are those numbers right? I honestly didn't see this coming, but dope. I mean, sure. Friday through Monday of opening weekend, the film made over $116 million at the box office, taking the place of X-Men Days of Future Past in the number 5 spot. Look, that's fine. I liked the movie well enough. I did. It was pretty entertaining. It was better than Dumbo. I even laughed out loud quite a few times. I did have one major gripe with Aladdin. Big problem that, surprisingly, I haven't heard much about on the internet. I don't like the dude's pants. They're bad pants. I don't like them. There's like too much material where there shouldn't be so much material. Like, what's he hiding in there? I found it to be very distracting. Why aren't we talking about this? They're like skinny jeans, and then you move up, and like, I don't even know what to call that, dude. Maybe it's some super fashion-forward, low-crotch trend that I don't know about. Either way, why is it in the movie? You're a thief, kid, in the desert. Like, steal some fucking shorts. We sat down with Aladdin himself, Mina Masood, and he explained to us why those weird-ass pants look so funky.
You know, this is a director who's spent a lot of his career telling stories about thieves and criminals. At the end of the day, the story of Aladdin is about this young man who's a thief stealing to survive.
Yeah, of course I didn't ask about his pants. That's a great way for Disney to never invite me back, and I already don't have that many connections. I just thought that was a cool soundbite about Guy Ritchie. I think that's really interesting. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. Aladdin's killing it at the box office, and you should go check it out. In at number 3, what Megan Fox has been doing since the Transformers movies. Yeah, I don't think, no. Nope. In at number 2, James Cameron refused to make the new Terminator movie without Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, this is like my favorite story of the week. I know the franchise has lost its way over the years, but this little tidbit is freaking adorable. Cameron obviously directed the first 2 and best 2 Terminator films, and he's come on board to produce Dark Fate, the new one.
James Cameron does what James Cameron does because James Cameron is James Cameron.
He said this about casting his buds. I said, look, I'd love to be involved in this, but I can't be involved in a Terminator movie without working with my good friend of 35 years, Arnold Schwarzenegger, even if it's officially to pass the baton to a new generation of characters. So that's what we all agreed to do. Then the question became, what about Linda Hamilton? Does Linda want to come back? So one might argue that it's been a while since we got a good Terminator movie, but man, they're back. All three of them. And the fact that Cameron was so adamant about all three of them returning is just really, really cool. And this dude is known for being like a super hands-on producer, so I think we can expect some cool stuff from the new film. I mean, he does this stuff because
James Cameron is James Cameron.
I'm sorry, I'm a child, I love that clip and I love that show. South Park raised millennials. So on a different note, Godzilla King of the Monsters was just released. I got to sit down with the star of the film, Millie Bobby Brown, who you probably know as Eleven from Stranger Things. And I think I think I really blew it. So it's time for this week's edition of Jeff embarrassing himself in front of celebrities. Embarrassment. That is an original song, and I bet you can't guess who wrote it. It was me. I'm very proud of it. So I'm fairly new to LA and this world of interviewing celebrities. I get excited. This is how the interview started. Millie Bobby Brown!
Hi,
That
Jeff.
name is so fun to say.
It is kind of fun.
God, I'm so awkward. All in all, fun, right? Except at this moment, it's astoundingly clear that I just spit everywhere. Like, I don't think you can see it on camera, but like I spit everywhere. Like, I feel like everyone can see it. There's these bright lights and I'm just like, pfft. I'm embarrassingly covering my mouth because I'm certain that I just spit all over Millie Bobby Brown, who's 2 feet in front of me. It was like an extreme say it, don't spray it moment. Now, do I actually think that I spit on her? No? The only thing that concerns me is that right afterwards, she does this.
My hairstylist, he goes, Millie Bobby Brown, Millie Bobby Brown.
Right. So she was probably just scratching her nose, but the timing was coincidental, and that's not something she did at any other point in the interview. Here's the thing. If I did spit on her, she played it off in like the most suave way possible. She didn't even react. She just kept on going and like subtly wiped it from her face. Those are some A-list celeb moves, if that's what we're looking at. I'm not sure, but I wasn't about to ask and apologize. It just would have been a terrible way to start the interview by being like, hey, did I just spit on you? She also called me a tool, but I think that was an accident. I clearly had no idea what was going on here.
What a tool guy, Jeff.
Right? I mean, she meant to say cool, right? It sounds like she meant to say cool. Anyway, there's so many unanswered questions, it's overwhelming. So let's tweet her. Dear Millie Bobby Brown, I'm sorry if I spit on you. P.S. Did you call me a tool? Sincerely, Jeff M. Now let's see if she replies. My guess is no. I have 86 Twitter followers. I'm new to this world. Embarrassment. So anyway, now that bullshit's over. In case I lost you, there we go. It is time for our #1 story of the week. Robert Pattinson has won the role of Batman. There was hella talk about it, but nothing was confirmed until last week. According to Deadline, Warner Brothers has cast Pattinson to star in Matt Reeves' The Batman. So, for some reason, this is a controversial choice. Some people have come to Pattinson's defense online, saying that people weren't stoked on Heath Ledger as the Joker either, and that turned out to be great. People also weren't stoked on Ben Affleck as Batman, and that turned out to be good. And I think those are good points to make, but also, like, shut up. Give the dude a shot. He's a good actor, man. Pete Davidson won't shut up about it.
But he should have got an Oscar. Sick. No, yeah, I really love this movie so much.
He's kind of right. The dude's super talented. So what if he's a shiny vampire boy? Maybe he just needs the right role. Some of the biggest chatter online about it that surprised me was that he doesn't have the right jaw. I'm sorry, but what the fuck? Are we really concerned about his jaw? Does that matter? Maybe they can CG a new jawline. And just so you know, Willem Dafoe disagrees with the jaw haters. Yeah, real talk. One of our articles recently was called Willem Dafoe has a great take on Robert Pattinson as Batman. And I'm sold right there. Like, you could say Willem Dafoe has a great take on blank. And no matter what it is, I'm gonna read that article. Anyway, he said this. Listen, sure, why not? Why not? He's got a strong chin, that's a part of it. Can you imagine anyone with a weak chin ever playing Batman? I don't think so. Okay, well, I don't necessarily agree that someone with a weak chin can't play Batman, but there you go. Anyway, here's my point. A lot went down behind the scenes to assess whether or not this dude was fit for the role. They didn't just shrug and choose the most sparkly boy in Hollywood. So give him a chance. He's probably gonna kill it. They know something we don't through the process of some sort of audition or whatever. And besides, isn't it more fun to be surprised by a quirky casting choice that works out? People are suggesting John Hamm, like, come on, like we already know John Hamm can do anything. I mean, that jaw is just superhuman. It's not even fair. And if Pattinson doesn't kill it, we get to talk a bunch of shit on the internet, which is equally as fun. So there. And that's it, dude. First episode of Oh Great, It's Jeff in the bag. Bam. Yes. We'll be back soon with some more hot takes and dope stories. So be sure to hit subscribe so you can see all the cool content we post on the regular. And tune in next time to see if Millie Bobby Brown tweets me back. Spoiler alert, she doesn't. Thank you for watching. Really. We'll see you next time. Airplane. There's an airplane. Impossible to record anything in LA because there's constant airplanes flying over me. And another airplane, who you may know as 11 from Stranger Things. Another airplane. Are you kidding me with this? I don't even live near an airport. And just so, oh, God damn it, another fucking airplane.